welcome back to my channel. So today's masterclass is on Etude number 7 from Wohlfahrt, Opus 45, Book 1. I am using a Schummer's edition, so if you have the same edition it will be easy to follow. But I assume even if a different edition has very similar fingering, and so I try to stick to the same fingering throughout the etudes and bowings, whatever it's there. So yeah, let's talk about this, you guys. This etude is not easy, especially if you are, you know, kind of beginner, intermediate player. This, I feel like lots of students has quite a problem with that particular etude. So let me just play through and let's just listen to it, and then we're going to talk about this. So what do you think is the most difficult in here? Yes, intonation. There is, the etude has two flats, B flat and E flat, but it has a lot of accidentals. So if you look at the right from basically the first line, if you look at the etude, there are naturals, there are sharps, you know, and it sometimes changes within the same measure. So you need to be very careful, because lots of students just get confused, you know. They had, let's say, B natural in the beginning of the measure and then they play B flat at the end, you know. No, remember, if you have a natural, if you have any accidental, it's good for the entire measure, unless there's another one, you know, that's gonna change the situation. So yeah, just remember this. For example, the confusing measure could be, although, you know, if you know your sharps and naturals and if you know the rules, it will be very easy. If you look at the very last measure of the second line, you do have an F sharp thrown in right in the beginning, and then the very last note is an F natural. So just something you need to remember. You need to quickly, you know, change it, right? You know, I found the Wohlfahrt etudes, sometimes they're very generous and, you know, with the, and they're kind of understanding the students. If you look at the very last measure of the fourth line, there is a natural E natural in the beginning as the first note, and the very last note they repeat the E natural for you. Technically that second natural sign shouldn't be there, because like I said earlier, the rules are once you have one natural, the following, the same note will be the same until the end of the measure. So technically that natural sign shouldn't be there. They did put in there just for you to remember that it's still E natural. So but in generally there's a lot of you know, international, could be international problems because of the, you know, so many accidentals. So what I would suggest is maybe practice 4 measures at a time, okay? And I would just start in the beginning in this particular etude, because right in the beginning, like the second line, you already have a lot of tons of different you know, accidentals. So take it 4 measures at a time. If you need, go down to 2 measures at a time, and slowly. So for example, my practice tempo should be, let's say, or even slower if it's too fast. Notice also that I am playing middle to slightly lower half of the bow. This is your best. This is your best place to be for this etude. I do put a little bit of the pressure with my first finger because, you know, eventually when you will be playing hopefully a little bit faster, you know, you need to put some pressure. You don't want to use just the weight of the bow because your bow is just gonna slide. You know, when you play faster and you play quicker notes, you need to put some more pressure with your first finger on the stick. So get used to it right away. Playing like this, you know, in the slower tempo, it's all marked forte throughout the whole etude. So why not do it right away? And it's okay if it sounds a little bit harsh, you know, because keep in mind, whoever is listening to you when they go a couple of meters, couple of feet away from you, what might sound a little bit too harsh for you, it's gonna sound very well articulated when you play for the audience, for someone who's standing a little bit further away from you. Also, what you need to be careful on is right in the beginning, I found lots of students making this mistake, is because of the first B flat, which is low here, many times this D gets out of tune. So you can always check with an open D, but lots of students have a tendency of bringing that third finger down. Remember, the second, third finger never change. It's just your first finger went down a little bit lower to the half position because of the B flat. So practice slow, 2 or 4 measures at a time. Be careful on the accidentals, because be careful on your flats, sharps, naturals. Wohlfahrt threw everything on you in this etude, so you need to be very patient, and I would definitely check your third fingers against the open strings, just for the, you know, security, the intonation, make sure that it's in tune. So I hope you find this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.